What's going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Cyberspaces. Today, we have some special guests on the show. We have Chris, Cody, and Brian from Finovant. They're going to be going over their technology with you guys, which is biometrics. And they're also going to be talking about how their technology is compatible with CyberLeaks. So, guys, Chris, Cody, Brian, do you guys want to take the stage here and give our viewers an overview on what your company does?
This is Chris. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. So, Finovant, what do we do? Our core technology is biometric authentication. And this has been, we've been around for 5 years now. A lot of people don't realize that. So we're not just a new kid on the block. We're not new to the technology or new to business in itself. So what we've done is created a solution that we believe is far superior to the typical authentication solutions that people use today. We all know, we're all familiar with ID and password, right? It's the convention that we've used ever since the internet started for Web 2 and Web 3 solutions, well, Web 2 particularly. So we all know that databases get hacked. We all know that we have so many passwords to keep and keep track of that it's difficult. And what that means is people are not as secure as they should be. They reuse passwords, they write them down, they keep them on their computer, and they lose their phone, they lose their computer, or someone steals their briefcase, and all of a sudden their passwords are at risk. Every account that they have is at risk. If you replace those at risk and those with an ID and password, anybody can use it, right? You replace that with biometrics. So when Stolte goes and registers his biometrics to log in somewhere, nobody's got that golden voice and nobody's got that face that he's got. So it's just impossible for someone else to access his information if it's been secured biometrically. So that's what we've done at a core, and we've taken that technology now and we've created the BioFi ecosystem, which is going to be secured with biometrics. We'll have providers like Cyberly in that space who bring their biometrically secured solutions out into the marketplace. So I'll pause there and we can get into more detail if you guys like.
Really fascinating stuff. And Cyberlead, do you guys want to take the mic here and talk about how you guys met and how you guys are going to be leveraging this biometric system into your guys's platform?
Yeah, we met during the flight program, the first flight program. Um, in the program, there's a handful of us that presented to the rest of the program, and as Cyberly was, as we were presenting ourselves, Cody instantly DMs me, and I see a DM pop up from Cody. And after I'm done with it, I check it. He's like, "Hey man, we got to talk when this is over." So after we finished that class, we talked and had another introduction meeting with everyone else, and kind of had an open discussion about possibilities and in gaming, metaverse, biometrics, the future of identities and such, and formed a really good partnership. And we actually meet with them like every other week, if not every week sometimes, and touch base. These guys are going to bring in the biggest part of our KYC is, just a part of the process of our KYC is biometrics for professional play, league play. Even if you want to be a casual user, you can use it, and that'll enable further rewards. Anything you want to add, Jeff?
I just want to say that Finovant is a company that offers something at such a remarkable rate that it's just like we couldn't go anywhere else to do what we're trying to do, and that's a big thing. Also want to say that biometrically verifying like the league play and these events, it gives this security to the users that yes, this person is that person. It's not another person paid to be here, kind of like fake it to make it scenario.
Walk us through the process of, let's say, like a gamer wants to, they have to KYC through CyberLeap. So typically, when you KYC, you know, uh, take a picture of yourself next to your ID. You have to send in the front and back of your ID, and then that's it. But by using Finovant, how is that going to be different, and what does that process look like for people who are using your guys'
So
platform?
the process is evolving over time, but to start off with, basically you use the program the BioFi provides for the biometric verification. It takes a few seconds, and that attaches to your profile. And then you also attach your Web3 wallet to your profile. And that's the first basic part of KYC. And also, we have your username in the profile itself. So kind of combining all of that together, we really have a good idea who the customer is, and it's going to make it a hard time for them to manipulate the system, create additional accounts, do anything that isn't allowed. Hope that makes sense.
So, if I understand this correctly, people will go to your guys' website, and when they're KYCing, do they um, get sent off to like Finovant's website, or is it just running in the background?
Yeah, yeah. So they'll get. So Finovant has their own essentially platform that we will send the user, and there'll be like a UI UX, like a design that makes it fun, and then they help verify and do that stuff, and then they come back to our platform, but that's still attached to our CyberLeap like profile.
A shiny, juicy API and UX customized specifically for CyberLeap.
And this is something that we will be showing next Wednesday on our Discord AMA. We'll go over the biometric process, how to sign in, and how it integrates with the website. And we can further break this down next Wednesday on Discord. Be sure to meet us there. And you find our Discord link on our Twitter space.
Yeah, please join us for that demo next week on their Discord. That's gonna be fun. We're gonna do a screen share, and I'll walk you through the intro to the UI and what that'll be building into in the future.
Amazing. Yeah, biometrics is really interesting. Can you guys go a little bit deeper in explaining how it all works? You guys mentioned that it's obviously you guys use people's voice and things like that. Can you guys give us a little bit more information?
Yeah, I could jump on that if Brian doesn't want to take the stage. So I think the biometrics itself works over a couple hundred different data points surrounding your voice and face. It's resistant to deep fakes. It makes it so that you can't record anything else on device. In fact, if you were trying to do a screen share of even the on-device version for your app, let's say that somebody was trying to record your phone to sign into the cryptic wallet, for example, and you're using your biometrics, it'll render that outside app. It'll turn off its camera, or it'll make it so that it can't see what's on the screen. In fact, we've had other times in the past where we try to do a demo of the technology, and it's like it won't record. So for on Zoom, for example, if I was going to show you how the voice biometrics works, it would render that content file inaccurate and wouldn't take the submission. It's honestly when I found what Brian and Chris had been working on. I've been with Finovant for a little bit over a year. When I find out what these guys had cooking, I honestly I was floored with all the different possibilities, because you can think about this and you can think about every time you walk into a bank, every time you walk into the gym, every time you open your laptop, every time you try and sign into a gaming competition. The amount of places where you can leverage SATEC is it's painful for me because my mind doesn't stop on these types of these integrations.
You know,
Yeah,
another
that's
thing too, if I can expand on that real fast, one of the things that the BioFi's solutions bring forward to providers and integrations, we have two recently announced providers. One is Telco Solutions out of Africa, where they're going to add in the biometric solution for their users on their broad spectrum payment platform. And that alone is 2.4 million potential users, and beyond that, where their reach goes into. I think it almost doubles or triples that where their reach can actually go to. And also, we recently announced a new partner provider with integration with Pedal, Pedal app. They're an existing application that's going to pull in the biometrics to the multi-factor authentication for their users on their application, which it revolves around motor vehicles. And the sky's the limit with where like what Cody was just saying, where we can plug in the biometrics to
And,
existing and new developing software.
what Solte said before, we pitched about us, linking it. We were having a conversation in the hypergraph hour, and the passion that was coming from these guys, it matched the exact ethos of everything that we were building, everything I've tried to build since I begun my experience in crypto, and it's the synergy. It built a symbiotic relationship that's growing into more factors than we even imagined in the beginning.
For sure.
Do you guys, Cyberly, do you guys have anything you guys want to add?
So I don't even know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? I can't. The app's not.
Yeah, we
Loud and
can hear
clear,
you.
buddy.
Loud and clear, yeah.
Okay. The app's like frozen. Uh, yeah. Speaking about the car thing, which I think is cool. You sit in your car and it starts when you want it to start because the mirror or whatever is looking at you and it sees your face, you biometric verified, and only you can start your car or whoever else you allowed. I think that's a really cool idea. And I think the combining that idea with the gaming and you know, there's a problem in some of these leagues where you get the 15-year-old brother playing for the 12-year-old brother. So the 12-year-old brother is, climbing up through the ranks, but he's letting his 15-year-old brother do it on his account. If someone was to try to do that on CyberLeet and they got far enough in, we could live verify that through their webcam at you know any point in time if we wanted to, or just send them a box, say, hey, you need to verify. I think that's a cool idea.
So, question: when you guys basically log in with Finovant's biometric system, is that like a one-time thing, or uh, do they verify you every single time you log into a game or something?
That is an option for the provider to determine themselves. For example, one of the first products, or why I kind of got into the loop, for the proof of existence token, which is a process for taking your biometrics, your face and your voice, putting that into a unique code that is then paired with your wallet for singularity as a user on chain, to keep you anonymous but still unique. That is something that you can connect to your wallet. That's with Governor DAO, for example, which is they allow it for just to be one-time login. You're able to kind of put that in your wallet. Anytime you go to a new website, for example, or a new DApp interfacing, you can just connect, and that's something that's already registered to your account. So that's to be able to completely game or anti or solve for the cheat on people, for example, say with node projects where they go and just, oh, I have a cap on 100 nodes, I'll just go make a new wallet. That's something with the proof of existence or these types of products where you make that impossible for people's wallets because they can't game it with two wallets. Or in the case of so for example, making your account with CyberLeet one time, that could be something that's connected to your account. And then if you wanted to do something like a major competition or anytime if you wanted to do it where it's like you're in a tournament style and every game you might have to, oh, it's still me, so it's not my my brother signing in for that. That's something that you can decide for yourself. One of my favorite things about the SATEC is how customizable it is, how interoperable it is. It works currently on HTTP. It works on the Web3, and it works on device. Soon, ideally to be the HTTP and all these other types of the on-chain interoptions. Governor Dow has used the proof of existence across multiple chains already. So there is no point of, or anytime we try to find, anytime there's a point of resistance, we try to solve it. So you have the option. The long answer longer is it's up to you.
Yeah, let me jump in on that, Cody. Thanks. The biometrics are flexible to adapt to whatever user interface someone wants to use, and CyberLeak can put those authentication checkpoints anywhere they want. Similar to what Cody and Schulte have been saying, you can do it before you log in, but you can actually do it periodically throughout a tournament. Say, between rounds, you could re-verify who people are. You could do re-verify everybody, re-authenticate. Or one of the things that, I don't know if we've talked about or not, but one of the things CyberLeak could do is just use the face, and they could do a re-authentication live while you're competing, and it doesn't disturb the gamer. So there's a lot of ways that the authentication service could be used to make sure that it is indeed that person playing the game and not someone that they're paying.
That's a good point. We don't want to disturb the gamer, and we want to do this as least as possible. So say you're casual gaming coming onto the system, you don't have interest in competing, but you want to do the biometric thing because that's how you want to log in. You think it's cool, and
sure,
I could see that guy on using his biometrics once in every great while. Maybe when he goes to claim, maybe when he goes to buy some points or something off the market, might want to re-verify them, but other than just logging in, I think it's going to be pretty limited. But someone who's at the extreme pro end and they're playing in online conditions, we can separate the voice and the face. So say we have, we're in a game, all the players in the game, each player has to say ready, player one ready, player two ready, and that's their voice recognition in the game to start the voice recognition, and they could monitor intermittently through the game as they're communicating. Or we could do the video thing, which is cool too, because they already have webcam. So just use the biometrics on their face, and see, as the higher up you are as a player, the more often you're going to run into it, but it's still going to be kind of seamless.
That's fascinating how customizable this is. What's the response time? For example, Stolte, you just mentioned that, you guys can set it up so the gamers could literally just say player one ready, player two ready. How fast would the biometrics be able to recognize that and just start the game?
It depends on
seconds.
It depends on the implementation, but we're within seconds. Yes.
Got it. Second question, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are curious about this too. How do you guys protect user data? Because you guys are going to be getting their KYC and their biometric information, how do you guys keep that secured? And where is this data stored?
The biometric information is kept separately from the KYC information. So that's the first thing. When the information is collected, and again, it depends on the implementation. If it happens to be an on-device implementation, like on a mobile phone, then the data resides on that device. The data in either case is encrypted and hashed so that it's broken down mathematically, so that even if someone was to find that information on that particular device, they couldn't reconstitute it and use it. They'd have it's basically math. It's not something that can be replayed into a device in order to impersonate someone. On a cloud-based implementation, that it's the data is treated the same way. Again, it's separate from the KYC information. It's hashed, it's secured and broken up into bits, so that if someone was to hack a database, there'd be nothing they could do with that information anyway. So the data, the information is secured and encrypted and not for folks to worry about.
Got it. Perfect. And I'm sure you guys will be going into much details about how this all works during the Discord AMA. And for those of you that just joined, we are having another cyberspaces in the CyberLeak Discord. And that's where they're going to be screen sharing and showing you guys the UI design and getting into a lot of details. Do you guys want to add anything else before we wrap this up?
We are posting last.
Um,
Oh, go ahead.
I'd just like to make a couple of comments. And who was speaking, by the way?
Brian. That was Brian speaking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
The
Brian.
other, the other Brian.
Okay, I wasn't used to your voice. I have James' voice down perfectly, and that's an easy one to capture. And of course, Jeff's. So a couple things, guys. First of all, I just wanted to thank you guys for the opportunity to meet everybody here today and have these conversations. We always view these as being so important to amplifying the message, to getting the message out there. And along with, well, like Governor Dow, you know, we've been working with you guys for quite a while as you we're going through your process of, you know, thinking through your application and market launch and everything. And we really appreciate all that. And I just want to highlight that here, that as a provider, we're so excited to get the metaverse completely launched. And there's a lot of things in that space that are happening quite rapidly. And we'll love to have a few more of these spaces with you guys on that topic in the near future. There's a lot happening there that we're getting ready to roll out to market. And of course, you guys, you know, have a world there, and there's just a lot to do there. It's quite an amazing thing, actually. And, you know, one thing that's interesting, we interviewed Max over at Tel Solutions Africa on Saturday. And I think that video's going out. It may have already gone out, depending on when the Twitter feed goes out. That video is a fantastic video, and it talks about the size of the Tel Solutions market in Africa. Just to give people a sense of how quickly the biometric financial ecosystem is growing. And imagine that, James and Jeff, just the size of the community, and CyberLeak's going to be right there positioned for all that growth. It's just amazing. And that's why we're so happy to have providers like you guys, because you offer a great service. And there's going to be a lot of people that come in and use gaming and use the metaverse. And we've got so many interesting things happening there to the point where imagine this, traditional finance companies, financial companies that work in the field of moving money around. You know, you open an account, you load it with some cash. Maybe you have a direct deposit because you're working a job, and your direct deposit goes in the account, and you pay your bills from there, right? You change your address once in a while, you open up another account, you pay some more bills, and then all of a sudden the metaverse comes along. And now all these people that have been using kind of utility functions suddenly get this great new utility. And guess what? Inside the metaverse, you can train people, you can give them immersive experiences, you can help them learn, you can help them travel to another country they've never visited.
The Barbados Embassy.
Right? Think of that. And think of the biometric financial ecosystem, which really is for every person in every country and territory. And now with the metaverse, biometrics are kind of the glue, right? But imagine the metaverse being in the hands of all these people that want to travel someplace. They haven't been able to do it yet, but now they have a way to do it. It's just an incredible utility.
Have you seen any of those YouTube videos where they go to like elderly homes and put them into a 3D goggle, and they'll, go to different parts of the world.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, these people,
That,
they,
that
they love it. Those people loved it. Like, they grew up in Tennessee, lived in Tennessee their whole life, but now they're walking around the pyramid and getting a feeling for it.
and that provides such a great service, and that's what you guys are all about. That's what we're all about. So I just want to highlight that here, just as a thought for the audience. And we have such a great audience here. It's an incredible audience and the community. And I just want to thank everybody. But you guys are doing a great job. We love working with you, and there's so much to do here. We are literally at the forefront of such a huge movement. I hope you guys enjoy the TelSolutions Africa video. There's a lot more coming in the ecosystem, and you guys are well positioned, and the ecosystem's well positioned for growth.
Exciting. This is all exciting. And there's one last thing I'd like to get out before we close this. Just a little, just look out for NFTs. We're currently designing some cool NFTs, and the utility that's going to come with it will be phenomenal. It's going to be groundbreaking in ways and a lot of fun, and it's going to work with our application. So more news to come about that. Thank you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. Love you guys and your support.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys. It was really nice meeting everybody from the Finavant team. And Stolte just dropped some alpha just now. I guess they're working on some NFTs. Pretty excited for that. And don't forget to join us in the cyberspaces that we're going to be holding in the Discord with the Finavant team there as well. So we look forward to seeing you guys, and really nice to meet everybody.
Brian, it was
Hey,
awesome
thanks,
meeting
Brian.
you.
Thanks,
Thanks
Brian.
for
Thanks,
having us.
everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Talk to you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Ciao.
See you
Ciao.
later.